Hello, hello my peeps, how are we all doing today? Can see we've got a wee handful of people in the chat already, and even though it's early, very punctual you lot, aren't you? So, who have we got? We've got Jan. Hello Jan, pink under hands to you too. Hey Jules, how are you doing? Nice to see you as well. And we've got Mary as well with all the pink under hands. Ooh, Patty's here as well. Nice to see you too, Patty. Oh, you love the red? Oh, thank you. That's nice. This is actually one of my favourite jumpers, and it was a really cheap one. And I bought it 2 Christmases ago, and it's still going well, which is really surprising because I don't know about the rest of you, but I've found that the quality of clothes generally has gone substantially downhill in the last couple of years. It's got a weird neck on it though. It's like a split neck, and I always find I end up showing a bra strap, so I've just put a red t-shirt on underneath, and then it's not that noticeable. Because you really needed to know that on a Wednesday afternoon. Oh, excuse me. I do like wearing red though. I like wearing green and I like wearing red, and it's 2 colours that I seem to get on quite well with. So I got a really, really nice red, I don't know what you would call it. It's like, I would call it a jumpsuit, like it's an all-in-one. So it's got like a V at the front and it's got no sleeves, but it's trousers that are attached to it. And it's this colour as well, and I bought it for going on holiday last year and I ended up not wearing it. So I'm going to take it with me to Cyprus this year, and I'm going to see if I can wear it when I'm out on holiday in a couple of weeks, which is nice. It's quite special as well because being a very short person, particularly a very short person with a short inside leg, Mama Jem took the bottoms up for me, so I feel that I should really make use of that and do her proud, you know. Of course we needed to know. It's all good, it's all good. Excellent. So what's everyone up to today then, on this fine Wednesday afternoon? It's a wee bit chilly here, it's definitely like autumn weather, but it's been quite dry. The sun was trying to come out earlier, but it didn't do a very good job. And things have been chaotic to say the least, but you wouldn't expect anything less from me by this point because that's just the way the world works. I hope some of you have got WIPs with you today as well. Hi Cal! Mary's been working this morning, AI agents and advertising. Ooh. Oh, Jules has got the lurgy. We've given it to her. We must have been passing it around last week. Oh no! And Thea's still not well as well. Yep. Yeah, we're doing well. Well, I have to say, I haven't gotten rid of mine yet either. It is still there. I was supposed to go for a run on Sunday, and Mr. Jem had a really rare lie-in, so I made a choice on Sunday to stay in bed with him and not go for a run. I was off work on Monday, so my thinking was I can go on Monday morning. Woke up on Monday morning and looked out the window and couldn't see 2 inches in front of my face. There was just a fog that came down. I have no pavements to run, I have to run on the road. So I ended up, I thought, I'll wait and see an hour or 2 and see if it like clears up, you know, if it lifts, and it didn't. It was like that all day. For any of you that play computer games, it was like Silent Hill. I've got a really random hair on my fringe that's annoying me. So yeah, today was the day, and I went out this morning, and it was lovely to be back out. Like, it was so nice just to move my body, but by the same time, like, I felt as if someone had taken elastic bands and like tied off the bottom half of my lungs. I just had like 0 lung capacity, and I was substantially out of breath all the way around, which was only 5 kilometres, so like 3 and a bit miles. It was very, very unpleasant, and there was a lot of like bodily fluids, like there was a lot of mucus as I was running as well, which I'm really glad that nobody sees me. Like, I hardly see a soul when I go out for a run, apart from maybe like an odd passing car or whatever. So I'm very aware that I'm still not well. Still at an odd little cough here and there as well. It just doesn't seem to want to go away. And I think if it continues like this for any longer, I think I'm going to have to go to the doctor, because it's clearly not buggering off. So yeah, I can still totally sympathise, but I'm not unwell enough that I can't run, and I will be going out again on Friday. Like, I'm getting back into my routine. I'm just gonna have to take it really easy. Like, I mean, I would be taking it easy anyway because it's been a couple of weeks since I've run, but I'm gonna have to be really careful because I would rather go around and enjoy myself and be able to breathe, because that's really handy, than, you know, try and go harder and end up in pain, or worse. The worst thing that can be for me is having to stop and walk, because like that's just not an option for me. I'm not that person. Not saying that there's anything with people that do that when they're running, but for me personally, it's like if I'm going for a run, I'm running. It doesn't matter how slow it is as long as it's a run. Mary's had the irritating, tickly cough, but fortunately no further symptoms. Well, I hope it stays that way. I really, really do. Jules is working on today's Inktober, getting hang of the markers. Oh, good stuff. I've got a bit of guilt around the marker thing. I have filmed the other Copic marker video. The footage is actually sitting in a window on this screen ready to edit. I have not had 2 minutes to myself to do that this week for a myriad of reasons, but that will be coming as soon as I've got time to sit down and edit it. I'm just going to put it straight up, so as soon as it's finished you'll get it. But I'm glad you're getting the hang of the markers, that's good. That's the thing Jules missed most, running as a chance to clear your head. Oh yeah, like I've got the whole world sorted out. See if I do 10 kilometres, everything's right with the world by the time I get back. Thea went to the doctor yesterday. She said there's lots of really stubborn infections going around at the moment. And Jan, breathing luxury. Oh yeah, honestly, that was rough this morning. I always start off the first part of my run is on like trails and like uneven tracks and things. And apart from like a few dynamic stretches, I prefer to warm up as part of my run. So the first half mile, I'm literally like a baby jog just to get my hips warmed up and get my legs moving. And again, to protect my knee as well, because I'm going over uneven ground. It's just safer. And then when I get into the second mile, the piece of track, it's like a farm track I'm on in the second mile, and it's a bit sort of flatter because I can run in the ruts, so that's when I tend to sort of pick up pace. So I started to do that today, and that's when I realised I was like, oh, this isn't very good. And then when I'm into like the second half of the second mile and my third mile to the end, that's on the road. So when you're on the flat, normally that's when I would start to speed up and run at the pace that I intend to run at. I managed it for a little bit today, and I was like, no, I can't do this, because like I'm just gonna end up like having to stop. So I had to temper my expectations today. Cal can't run anymore, doctor's orders. Dehydration. Oh, that doesn't sound fun. That sounds nasty. That doesn't sound fun at all. I don't like that. Ugh. The spine of a 90-year-old mine worker. Well, that's encouraging. That was also very diplomatic of your doctor as well. That's like, I never take it for granted, and I'm so glad that I'm back to running. It's been really... It's so sporadic though, because I'd started back before my mum got ill. And then obviously while she was ill and then subsequently passed away, I'd stopped for a bit, and I just got going again. I was only back like a month, and then I went to Sweden and caught whatever it is I've got. So I mean, it's been 3.5 weeks since I've been for a run, so today was the first day, and I just really want to get that consistency back, because I normally, when I'm not training for something and I'm just running for myself, I would normally run 4 days a week in different types of runs and different distances. But I always, when I start back, my baseline is always 3 runs a week. So I'd like to get a couple of months with 3 runs a week under my belt and then start ramping it up. Because I would eventually, I mean, it's not going to happen anytime soon, but I would like to be back to running the times and distances that I was running when I was running regularly before. And I mean, I am a country mile away from that, like, pun intended. But in order to get back there, I've got to put the work in, and in order to put the work in, you have to be consistent. But it's also incredibly beneficial because it's you just move better, and I find that more now at 40 than when I was like in my late 20s. Like, it's very beneficial in terms of just moving about day to day. You do feel fitter, you have more energy. That takes a wee while as well. But I mean, that's true of any form of regular exercise, let's be fair. Well, we've got Danny, and we've also got Mr. Danny. Hello to you two. It's nice to see you. You've not missed anything, Patty. I've just been wittering on about running. Hi, Ulrika. Patty still run talk, didn't miss anything. Thea says if I ever get to a weight that would allow me to run, I might try, but until then I continue with walking. Danny says she feels that in her soul. But that's the thing though, if I didn't have a blown out knee to look after, I would probably have run at a much heavier weight than when I started back, but I've got to be very careful because I've got an old knee injury. But you really can, and I know people that are substantially overweight that do run. You have to be careful and you have to do it properly, and that's and that's the way about it. You have to be almost overcautious because it puts a lot more force on all your joints, especially in your lower body, your hips, your knees, your ankles. And if the difference is if you go too hard or too much too soon when you're carrying more weight, you tend to be prone to niggles, not necessarily full-blown injuries, but things like shin splints or like achy ankles or like sore heels, that kind of thing. Not things that would stop you running, but things that if you continue to run on them, they will become an injury. You just have to be really, really careful. But I always say the same thing, like obviously I love running and I could talk about it for like the full 2 hours we're here, no problem, bore the pants off all of you. Running's not for everyone. If you do it and you don't enjoy it, stop doing it because you're not going to keep it up. It becomes very miserable and it becomes a chore. I think it's really important to find things that you like doing, and there's so many different ways to exercise now, like you just have to find your thing, and running is most definitely my thing. The revolution, I had a month of training laps too, slowly getting back on the recumbent bike. Yes, back to weights and elliptical trainer in 2 weeks or so. Well, I will hope for that for you and hope that you get back there. See, this morning when I run the first part of my run, I'm looking out towards the coast, so that's like the top north edge of the UK, so I'm looking out to the North Sea, and we've got a couple of wee cool rocks and stuff, and it was absolutely stunning this morning, and I thought I am so grateful and so lucky to be doing this. But at that point I could still breathe. Soon change, soon put a kibosh on that, but I appreciate that I'm very lucky that I'm able to run, and more to the point go back to it in my 40s with a blown knee and having been really heavy. I'm very thankful for that, but I've got to put the work in. Cal's dad goes for a 3-mile walk every day, gym 3 times a week, and runs half marathons. Yes! Do you know the only thing about that? See, when I run a half marathon and there's 68-year-olds passing me, put me to absolute shame. You're like, just keep running. Like, don't look at them. That's amazing, Cal. Oh, you tell him from me, fellow runner, I salute him. Jan used to run a little, love it, and then knees grumbled, so walk. But fine with the change, yeah. I've learned to be at peace with walking a bit more. I still don't really like it, but I like it more than I used to. Hey Anna, nice to see you. He also drives 80 miles just to mow my lawns. Oh my god. Your dad sounds like a keeper, Cal. Righty ho guys, it is now 3 minutes past 3. Once again, for this particular WIP Wednesday, I'm not in any great rush at the tail end at 5 o'clock. I don't need to be finished sharp. So we can carry on a little bit. I'm just looking to see where Jock is, because I don't know whether you want to sleep. Hang on. Let me just... My internet connection's playing funny buggers. It's complicated and I won't bore you with the details, but to get the Jock cam to work, I've got to have like a separate connection on it. Yes, meh. But yeah, it's up to you whether you want to see my face or whether you want to watch Jock sleep. He's facing away from the camera, so I'm not sure how exciting that would be. We've done that bit. Yes. Okay, right, let me just fix this for a minute. Oh god, I nearly lost a finger there. Right, I should be able to get this going now. Obviously having the Jock cam is very important. Yeah, we've done this bit. Technology. Why are we not doing anything? Oh, because it's the wrong network. That'll be why then. Always the consummate professional here. Right, there we go. Good grief. Right, let me just get this back in a position. There you go. Right, if I come back over here now, I should be able to do that. There you go. He's just doing his thing. Oh, hi, Jock. He's like, what do you want? Leave me alone. He's looking super miserable today. Yana, what is this running thing you speak of? It sounds rude to suggest we'd rather see Jock. Just a damn good brat. Amen to that, Cal. That's really funny. Danny's just said the same thing. I've just seen your comment, Danny. Okay, there we go. Well, you can have him lying there chilling out. I don't know, I might have to move. It would actually be better in that top corner, wouldn't he? The question is, can I... Oh... There we go. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Okay. Yep, so I totally went against my word about what I was doing as homework. So we've now got a slightly different, because my plan was to do one and then we never really got to the second part. So yeah, that was a bit of a cock up. But what I have done is obviously these mushroom tops. So what I would like to do today is work on one of the stalks so that you can see what a finished one looks like, and we'll see what time we've got. And we might start on another element. I would just like to point out, if I zoom, in fact you can see it from there, but if I zoom in, look how well the glowy ghosty effect's working with that white Prismacolor pencil, and it's become really obvious when I've done the underside of that mushroom cap. So let's do a stalk. The other thing I have done as well is the mistake bit down the bottom here. Oh, we're on the move. Look how stiff he is. Like, that's every time he moves these days. Oh, I'm so stiff. He's had all his medication as well. I'm waiting to see what bed he goes into before I change the camera. He's go... Oh. So that's Pip's bed he's in. That's not his own bed. Yeah, that's yeah. Hi Maxie, how you doing? So I've sanded this bit down here for the mistake bit, so we will try and get this stalk coloured, and we can see what a finished mushroom looks like, and then if we've got time we can pick another element. I really think we should move on to the bat slugs, or the dragon slugs, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about how stiff he is because it's not even that cold or damp yet. This is going to get worse. We do have the option of additional medication that we can use as and when needed, aside from his joint supplements and everything that he's on. So I think we're probably going to have to go down that route, I would think, at the start of the year when the weather gets really crappy. But we're just playing it by ear. He's had all his tablets now, so in the next hour or so he should loosen up a wee bit. Okay, for the underside, I am going to start with the similar colours that we've used under here. So I'm starting with the I'll need to sharpen this up. The pumpkin orange that we used before. Oh, that reminds me, I've got my Tagal sharpener, which by the way I've realised matches the background. I don't know what I've done, but I've ended up ordering extra Tagal sharpeners. I ordered 2, or I thought I'd ordered 2, and I've actually ordered 4. So if anyone, particularly if you're in the UK, because postage and stuff, if anyone's looking for one of these, I've got another blue one, and I've got like a light lilac-y coloured one, but it's this same like translucent casing. If anybody's looking for one, if you want to let me know, I would be happy to post them out to you. Just like paying the standard rate for them, because I don't need 4. No idea if it's an option for Jock, but Nero's getting injections. But yeah, we might have to go down that route eventually. We're trying to avoid stuff like that though, Thea, because he's on so much medication for his itchiness as it is. But we can give him Metacam, which is called something else now, which is basically an anti-inflammatory, and we can give him that orally. So we can use it on days that he's particularly stiff, because some days he is better than others. So that's kind of the plan for now. I think if we got to the point where we're having to go down the route of steroid injections, which I'm pretty sure is what you're talking about with Nero, I think it might be time to call it a day at that, because he's already quite heavily medicated for his allergies and stuff as well. But we'll just take it as it comes, you know, we just go a day at a time for our little jockey. So we've got like layers or skirts here. I'm going to maybe put that a little bit more in the centre. The other thing I'm fighting with just now, guys, is my overhead light. You know, the big one that I was farting about with last week. The bulb has blown in that, and it blew like when I went to turn it on to get set up for this stream. I have a spare bulb, but it's in the loft, and I wasn't for clambering up into the loft. So I have no overhead light at the moment. So if things start to get a bit funky, I might have to fiddle about with the lights and stuff a wee bit. Okay, so pumpkin orange, and then I'm going to grab this sienna brown. These are just the pencils that I was using last week. I've not done anything different. Jan, I'll happily send you one, not a problem. Snookat wave. Is that a wave for I want a Tagal, or are you just waving generally? Cal's noticed a harsher transition. Yeah, I think, Thea, that I think Julia has the same ones for Albert. Albert, Julia's poodle, he broke his back. He was quite a young dog when it happened, and he had injections for quite a long time. I would say, as far as I know, and my knowledge on that stuff's pretty good, it's usually some sort of steroid. I need to get my wee brush out as well. Oh, there we go. Just pop that there. So that would be further down the line. But as I say, we're very much at the stage where, you know, quality of life versus cost versus is he actually miserable, or is he just full of drugs all the time? Things to take into consideration. But I mean, he's still a very happy boy. But I think he's at the point where he gets his Are you all right? Are you a good boy? Like, he just looks really tired right now. It's been quite a busy day. Yeah, so I completely lost my thread of what I was saying there. Yeah, there comes a point where, you know, you've got to kind of weigh up all these things. And I don't want him being miserable, but I also don't want him doped up to the heavens just, you know, so that we think he's okay. Like, I'm quite kind of firm on that, so... That sandbar brown's not doing as much as I hoped it would. Oh, again, with another layer there. Yeah, that's better. When I think about these sections, this mushroom, focus doesn't seem to be doing very well here. I'm trying to get this nice, and I might have to... Oh, there we go. Bit of manual adjustment. Right. Oh no. What's happened to my cat? Oh, there we go. Good. We're not doing very well on the technology front today, are we? Yeah. With these layers, I think of, like, you know, the old-fashioned can skirts that had the different colours and the different layers. I think I might be going down that route. We'll see. It's a this wave, not a week. Okay, Snoo. Hi Elise, how are you doing? Cal doesn't usually feel the aches and long soreness until at least January. Yeah, when the temperatures drop, that's when Jock's stiff all the time. And again, when we're in the house, you know, when the heating's all on all the time, it's not so bad. And we've got a very fetching pink winter coat for him. You know, it's an insulated one, it's waterproof. And he gets that on, and that's to protect his hip joints and his shoulder joints mainly. You know, that's the bit he needs to keep warm. But we'll see. As I say, the next step is Metacam on an ad hoc basis, and we're not at that stage yet, but I've got a feeling this this winter. That is going to be it. He's obviously got an itchy bit that's annoying him there. But he's still, there's some things he can still get up on the sofa, but he can't get up in our bed, which, not that he does that very often, but that was an option for him and he just can't do it anymore. But, you know, so it's just a sign of his abilities. Right, so I've got this little bit here and I'm going to grab my sepia. I'm trying to use the sepia sparingly today because my new Prismacolors have not arrived yet. This is what we're left with the sepia pencil, which is mildly concerning. I might run out of sepia. But we'll see how we go. I was kind of hoping they would be here by now today, but never mind. Yeah, you guys are talking about hands. That's where I feel it, and that's like I'm not feeling anything yet. It's not necessarily the cold unless it's like bitterly cold. It's the damp that gets me, and Scotland is very, very damp. But things have been extremely dry here. Like, we're very lucky in that sense so far. So it concerns me that Jock's as stiff as he is and it's not damp yet. Right, so with this sepia, I'm really going to take my time and pick out these little spots here. Oh, no, don't do that. Again, contrast. We're thinking contrast here. It's warm weather that makes Ulrika's joints worse. That's really interesting. Jules has got a step stool for her cat. Oh, that's amazing. Well, I mean, I would get one for Jock for the sofa, but not for the bed, because we don't really like dogs in the bed. They do get up very occasionally, but it's once in a blue moon if the bed's dirty. Like Sunday, I had a lie-in on Sunday with Mr. Jem. We let the dogs up because I was going to be changing the bedclothes anyway. And I just lifted Jock up, and he just, like, see the way he's tucked in just now? He did that with Mr. Jem. He just, like, cocooned himself. It was very cute. My bed did smell a dog afterwards, though, and I'm not having any of that. I know where his feet have been, and I know what he plods through and all the rest of it. No thanks. Right, okay, so for this, not these sections, I'll worry about them later because they're kind of like not part of the pattern here. For this next section, I'm going to alternate colours. So instead of starting with this pumpkin orange, I'm going to go a step back. So if you remember from last week, that was orange. And that's going to be the base colour for this layer. And I just want it to be fun, and I want there to be variation. These are clearly made up mushrooms, so we get to make the rules. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get a little layer of this down. Yeah. You can see where it kind of curls round there. So I'm going to use the sienna brown in there. We'll just pop that in under there. Lovely, lovely. And these are completely in the shadow of the cap. So we're not really thinking about light sources here, which is highly unusual for me. So I'm going in for a second layer now. I'm just going to even this up a little bit. This looks like goop more than part of the stock, I feel. Our mushroom is leaking. Maybe we could make that the offensive neon green colour. What do you think, guys? Cal says she doesn't. Although these days I don't feel all is that good or bad. It depends on the situation. Well, that's like me, see, not being able to feel temperature in my numb fingers. It comes in really handy, but see when you're holding a scalding hot kettle and you don't realise that your numb fingers are touching the bits that are actually scalding, it's not great. Oh, Cal's saying about her son. Oh, yeah, that I can see why that would be a problem. Yeah, well, that's the doctors told me to watch my circulation, especially. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to feel that my fingers are starting to get cold or if they're going numb from the cold. And they've recommended that if I'm outside in the winter to wear gloves. However, my hands are roasting hot all the time. You know how they have the saying, cold hands, warm heart? My heart must be like stone cold. I don't even wear, see when I run in like minus temperatures, I don't wear gloves, so I'm kind of ignoring that advice from my doctor, honestly. But it's only because my hands are generally very warm. I do check every now and then, like obviously when you're running your circulation's going, so everything, you know, tends to be good, but I do check, like I just turn my hand over like that and just basically check that half, and if it's starting to look a bit white, then, you know, like I stick it in a pocket, or sometimes like in under my bra straps because it's warm there. Right, so taking the pumpkin orange now, and this is going to be our the start of our sort of shadow colour here. I'm going easy with this though. Just a little bit. So again, not something I do very often is layer with the Prismas, but that's what we're doing here, because we want variation. And then these little sections here where there's like folds, I'm gonna have like really obvious creases there, so I'm pressing quite hard when I'm doing that. Again, just for funsies, because why not? The other thing as well is like my hands cooperating really well just now, and again it's because it's number one, it's not cold enough, and secondly it's not damp enough. I know when things are getting bad, because my entire hand, like obviously I can't feel my fingers, but I can still feel these knuckle joints, and that's where I tend to feel it when things go wrong. That's where it, you know, that's where all the action happens. And that's why I've got my wee exercise balls, you know, my squishy things, and my needles that I've got as well. And they really help as well, just get everything going. Less crampy hands in the cold weather as well. There's a few things that I just can't do anymore. Like there's certain things, and it's stupid stuff. Like there's some containers that I've got in the kitchen, and I just can't open them. I don't have the grip strength in this hand anymore, and I'm like, I have to wait for Mr. Jem, and that's fine because it makes him feel useful. But if he's away like all day, it can be a bit of a problem. But generally it's not. It's more of an inconvenience for me, and I understand, you know, just as these conversations are going in the chat, that's going to get worse as I get older, but for the time being I'm still relatively okay. I've gone over the line very slightly there, but it's annoying me. So I'm going to grab my little Tombow Mono eraser. This is the rectangular one. You get these in circular ones as well. I'm just going to rub off the end, it's pretty dirty. And I'm going to see if I can just take away, there we go. Yeah, that's better. Oh, okay, good stuff, good stuff. Grab my wee orange again. Neon Goop totally works for Miri, excellente. So does Jan. Miri's got a pair of Dr. Arthritis gloves, and they've got copper fibres in. Oh, Mr. Jem's got a pair of them. He has Raynaud's, and he found those really, really helpful. He really liked them, and he kind of tends to like poo-poo stuff like that. But that's really interesting that you find that they've helped too. But again, Mr. Jem, like, he wears a copper bracelet as well, not because he's got arthritis, but because he's just a stiff farmer with lots of injuredness. I think this looks like a back part, so I'm going to make that one the sandbar brown again as well. Oh, that was sneaky, look. Yeah, so back to pumpkin orange here for this layer, or this skirt. Let's go. I feel like I'm too zoomed in, like I'm not comfortable with this, it's too close. I feel like that's better. That was a bit too intimate for my liking. Oh, it's the switch that's causing that. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to look at that. I've obviously got a loose connection there somewhere. And just the way the video cut out there, that was when I flicked the switch from the manual focus to the autofocus and then back again. So there's obviously something going on there. Must be investigated. Jules feels the cold something awful now, only since using the wheelchair. Well, notwithstanding the associated ailments with having to use a wheelchair, see, just being stationary or in a seated position even, that you are going to feel the cold because basically the blood doesn't circulate around the body the same way without movement. I find that, see, the days that I sit in the office, so when I'm here in the cave but I've been working my proper job and then I maybe like eat lunch at my desk and then go straight into cave stuff, I find it really difficult to get heated, particularly if I've been for a run that morning. And it's just basically the body struggling with the blood flow. Really, really common. And that's why I'm sure I've talked about this a couple of times. Armchair yoga or chair yoga is amazing for stuff like that because it gets you moving and you don't have to be on your feet for it. It really, really helps with stuff like that, especially if you are cold. See, if you just need a quick 10 minutes to get kind of like your blood moving a bit better and warm you up. Highly, highly recommend. If you're going to do stuff like that though, always speak to your doctor first. Do not start doing chair yoga without speaking to your doctor. Really, really important. Super, super important. Jan says, when you tumble over, I can't wait to see how you explain to the medics how you fell because you couldn't save yourself because your hands were in your bra. Jan, it's only you that falls over, it's not me. Not in the habit of falling over. Mary dropped her tea in bed last night and ended up a tear drying her sheet. Jock, stop scratching. Good boy. It's really funny. I can tell the difference between a habit scratch and when he's actually itchy. See what he did just there? That's just a pattern. He didn't actually have an itch that needed scratched there. And this is because he can't settle. See, even though he's lying down, he's not sleeping. His eyes are open. And that's what he starts to do. I don't know whether it's I'm watching you. It's really handy having him on this camera here. I don't have to turn around to look at him. Yeah, he's it's funny how, but he's had his skin condition, like he's had it for like more than half his life, so we've become very accustomed to it, and it is just habit. Like see when he goes OUT to go to the bathroom, the first thing he does is stop and he lifts his back right leg and he scratches under his belly, and he does that every single time he goes out. That is a habit. It's not because his skin's itchy. And we usually just try and distract him, but see, if you ask him politely, he usually stops doing it because he's a very polite boy and he's got manners. Cal, you pop in. I've just seen your comment about being on Boy Watch. You just pop in and out. I mean, you can watch the rest on replay later. Like, it's fine. If you've missed bits, you can go and jump back and forth. But you do what you have to do. I'm really annoyed that the sun's out. It's making things. See, because I don't have this overhead light, this is a problem. Oh, this is Jock making a den. See the way he was like digging at the blanket there. He was trying to make a nest. That's another thing that the old doggy dementia kicking in. Sometimes he sits and does that for like 20 minutes at a time. Yes, you're beautiful. Are you a beautiful boy? Yeah, you want to wag that tail, I saw that. Are you a pretty boy? Are your mum's pretty boy? Yeah. Just go to sleep, it's okay. Yeah, you can go to sleep, it's okay. You're allowed. Everybody's watching you, you don't even know it. Oh, you're a clever boy. Here we go. No, we've moved on to full tail wagging. Yeah, you're a good boy. Oh, here comes Pipsy because she heard me talking in the voice. Yep, see, make sure Jock's okay first. She didn't even come and see me there. She just made sure Jock was all right. Well, thanks very much, Pip. Pff, asshole. Oh, we're on the move. Oh, stiff boy, are you gonna come see me? Hi. Hello. Are you okay? Hi, Pee-Pee. Oh, good boy. Yes, you're a good girl too. Like, can we turn this round so that we can see everybody? Not really. Oh, well, there's just that. Oh, okay. Come on, Pip, you're alright. Yeah, you're the best girl. Oh. Jock's not even got his bum in the bed properly. Like, his bum's on the edge. Move over a bit. Oh, good grief. Yeah, let's move that back a bit so that we can... I wondered what that was. There's a strap on my pencil case. Right, there we go. Oh, you're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Yeah. Right, come on, Pippi, then. I know you're jealous and you're... Oh, God. Oh, you're feeling left out. You good girl? Is that nice? Oh, you're such a good girl. You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl. What's that? Okay. That's the excitement over. Oh, dear. Hi, Susan. How you doing? Jan, that was such a dad joke. I'm not even going to repeat it. Your mum's best boy, isn't he? Oh, good grief. I'm spending more time petting dogs than actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing here. This is why I didn't want a jock cam, because I knew this would happen. But here we are. And you're all happier for it, clearly. So by doing what I'm doing, again, because there's not really any sort of light source here, I'm just putting in this sepia to give contrast. So you can see it's made that, like, we'll call this like the frill. You know, that's really popped out because I've used the sepia. Because what we've done is we've put a dark tone next to a mid-tone. And I think I maybe want to pop that down some of these creases again here. What did I call them? Like crenellations? That's not well technical. I suppose it was a crenellation. Yeah, I'll give myself that one. And then I can go back to my pumpkin colour. Oh, sorry, did I miss something there? What software do you use to go? Yeah, you asked me this last week, Elise, did you not? Yeah, I'm in OBS. It's getting quite complicated now, though. Because that's me. I'm now up to 3 cameras, because obviously we've got this one, and then this one. And we've got a combination thereof, which this is your favourite combination. Yeah, it's getting a bit complicated. I will not be adding any more cameras. But OBS, I find it works really well because you can set up your cameras. Like, so see when I'm filming a video, I use this setup, but I just use this scene when I'm filming, you know, because I don't need the extra boxes kind of thing. So I literally don't have to do anything. And you've got the option to stream or record or both together. So in that sense, I find it quite practical and it works quite well and it saves any faffing about. Now that I've got this camera here connected to it as well, that's going to make things really easy for me for filming shorts as well. Shorts are in a different orientation and it's much easier to do it on a mobile, which is what this is. This is a mobile phone camera. It's much easier to do it, and see, just when you're editing it and trying to position things, it's much easier if you use an actual phone camera versus this camera and then try to like crop and change the orientation. So I might actually start filming some shorts. I know I keep talking about it and I actually never do it. Like, I'm sorry. Okay, so now we're on to the main part of the stock where there are no frills or skirts, so to speak. And I want this to be a gradient all the way down because Jem loves a gradient. So we're going to go a step back from the orange. So the next step up from the orange was the yellowed orange. And if you remember, this is one of my very few remaining old school Prismacolor pencils. And I'm going to be really sad when this goes. Most of the YouTubers I watch seem to use OBS. Well, the thing is, it's free. You don't pay for it. And it works very, very well. I haven't come across a circumstance yet where it hasn't worked. I highly recommend for anyone that wants to do stuff like this. Right, so we want to have lightest at the top, darkest at the bottom, because again, this is going to help us, I say us, help me with the mistake that I made down at the bottom here. So if I think about the colours I'm going to use, because we like to kind of like split it up in our minds. So we've got the yellowed orange, we've got orange, we've got pumpkin orange, and then we've got the sienna brown. And I think that's probably going to be enough, honestly. So I'm going to keep this yellowed orange. I'm going to get this started at the top here. So light layer first of all. Not worried about the blend sections being even. Like if they're a little bit up and down, that makes it more organic. So just kind of going as I please there, because why not? And then I'm going to take the orange and I'm going to use that to meet just where I've scribbled down there. Again, keeping a fairly light hand here. So we've got this nice section out and we're going to work on blending these. The sunshine that's come out again, how inconsiderate of it is making this very difficult. So I'm going to have to go to that intimate zoom again. If this camera cuts out, it'll only be temporarily. Oh, there we go. Look at that. You can see all the pencil strokes and everything. Right, that should be good there. Okay. So taking this yellowed orange, I'm not going as hard as I can in here because I still want to put a wee shadow in there. But when I'm coming down towards the orange, I'm pressing a bit harder. So I'm almost like feathering that out up the way, if that makes sense. That is uncomfortably close. Oh. It's just so y'all can see what I'm doing though. I know it's not 100% in focus, but I think that's the best I'm going to get because I am ridiculously close up here. Let's do that. Super duper. We'll worry about this top edge a little more in just a minute, but I'm going back to my orange. So pressing really hard down at the bottom here, even over my ghosty glowy bit, which you'll see. It's just that very edge there. But we'll get this going, and this is where Prismacolors come into their own and why I picked them for this project, because the blending is seamless, it is effortless, requires very little skill and or precision, which I don't know about you guys, but I'm down for that. And then go back to this yellowed orange and just go over that transition area, press as hard as you like. Obviously don't put a hole in the paper, but oh, look, it looks so good. Like, so nice. And then just add another wee layer, again a bit lighter there, up round there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump a shade just for underneath there. I'm going to take this sandbar brown and then get a really, really pointy point on it. Do you mean a Lego building live, or do you mean a logo as in like you know, like a business logo? Isn't it pretty, Ulrika? So pressing really hard, and I'm just following the outline around here. Again, not being careful because I'm going to take my yellowed orange again, and I am pressing as hard as I can possibly press, and I'm trying to pull down, so I'm dragging the dark colour with me. Dragging, not drag on, as in drag on wings that we were talking about earlier. And it gives it more of like a shadowy feel. I am super happy with that. Now, see, this is the kind of detail you're only going to see that if you're up really, really close. See, if I zoom out, you're not going to see that, but we know that it's there. Look, it looks so rich and yummy and fabulous, and that's why we do these things. That's why we like these things. Excuse me. Oh. Yeah, so Mary's already jumped in. I did one last Christmas. It was ridiculous. It was like 8 hours long or something. But we raised money for charity. I was very drunk by the end of it, and it was great fun. Jan only was just going to get drunk. I had such a good time. Like, honestly, last Cavemas was hilarious. Like, I had such a good time. I was so tired by the end, and my hand was so stiff, but it was like 100% worth it. Would I do it again? Absolutely. It was really, really good fun. I had such a good time. I think that's been probably my favourite cave miss yet. Okay, so down the bottom here, what I'm thinking now is that I've done that top part. I don't want there to feel like there's a disconnect between this part of the stock and this part of the stock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of abandon the sandbar brown as part of the stock and maybe just use it in like odd places. I'm going to put the yellowed orange down here and I'm going to transition it into the pumpkin down at the very base. Just because, I physically made the mistake of, thinking that this wasn't attached to anything. And I'm not convinced that that stock shouldn't be present down this side either. So I want to try and keep some sense of connectedness between the two elements. So I'm going to go exactly to where my mistake is. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's just that line there where I stopped the pencil. So that's a really good place to have the transition because it'll help to mask it a little bit as well. Now I mentioned this last time, there's going to be a very obvious texture difference between this part and this part because this is the part that's got the watercolour ground on it. There is nothing I can do about it. It's the best thing I could do to rescue it. So this is going to be interesting trying to smooth this out, but we'll do the best that we can. I think a sharp pencil is needed for down in the itty bitty bits down here, but it's the best thing that we could do under the circumstance. So I have sanded this. I'm sure I mentioned that already. But there's the pumpkin orange and that's going down really well, all things considered. And I'm going to bring, I might actually get a little bit of sandbar brown down in there. Don't discount it. I have obscured some of my line work here, but I think that's a small price to pay considering how much I boo-booed on this. So yeah, beggars can't be choosers. So I'm going to bring that up here, and again, just the way I would normally with a blend, you can see how scratchy that is there. Excuse me, terribly sorry. Oh, that felt sore, that one. I haven't coughed like that for ages. Well, since at least this morning. This might be the part that is the kind of like the undoing of us. But what I'm going to do is, similar to the sort of drag method that I just used there, I'm going to do that in reverse down here to try and get a smooth transition. So I'm going back to my orange. Excuse me. Oh. And I'm just going to put that over the top there. Oh, that's done really well. That's done really well. And this should now, hopefully because I've put that other layer of pencil down, this should look like it joins up in here because the transition area is quite far down. So I'm just trying to keep this looking as connected as possible, and I think that's a fairly good job, if I do say so myself. But I'm going to pull that right down in there. Just back in there with that pumpkin orange. Yeah, I think we can get a little bit of sandbar brown down at the bottom here. It is slightly off colour anyway because of the previous mistake. So we might as well lean into that a little bit. Let's go sandbar brown right down the bottom here. Yes. And maybe bring it up there a little bit. Right, that's about as good as I'm going to get. So give me your verdict. Have I not rescued that enough, do you think? Am I going to do a Vlogmas this year? Elise, see if you go back and watch, I want to say like halfway through last week's live stream, I talked a little bit about Cavemas and stuff then, so I would strongly advise you go back and watch that. Hi Christine, nice to see you. Mary says if we do it again, I think this is in reference to the Lego. I think we may need to increase the amount of times dropping a brick is needed before you have a drink. Well, that I was erring on the side of caution, but yeah, I'll agree to that. The watercolour ground worked great. Yeah, it did. That was a good shout, wasn't it? Cal says, looks good to me. Mushroom bottoms are always kind of murky. I think a lot of bottoms can be murky. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that as a rescue job. Are you alright, son? You're just not happy at all. It's because your bum's not in the bed, it's on the edge. Are you okay? Do you need a cuddle? You just need a wee pet. I know, you're the best boy. What are you going to do now? Do you want me to move the cushion? Would that help? Oh no, it's okay. Oh, oh God. Come on, come here. There you go, it's okay. We'll turn this round a wee bit, look. All the pets, it's just Pip, don't worry about her. Oh, he's a good boy. Oh, just such a good boy. There you go. It's fine. That's your best boy. That's it. He's just looking for Pip now. Oh, look, we're so handsome. We're old, but we're handsome. Oh, do you remember last week me talking about him doing the circuit? That's what he's doing now. So we've been from the floor to Pip's bed to his own bed, so now he's going back to the floor. We'll see what he does. Pip's standing at the door with a toy. That's why he's looking over there. There we go, he's settled. I'll just say, good boy. You clever boy. Yes, you are. Right, on to our next... Oh, that's right, we were going to do these bits, weren't we? Yeah, let's do that. So let's start with... It's technically not a neon colour, but it is offensive green, and that is chartreuse. Again, I talked about this colour last week, so I'm just going to bang that in there and see what it looks like, because, oh goodness me, I'm pretty sure that's going to do the job. It looks a little bit like what was coming out my nose this morning when I was running. I'm sorry. The sunlight is completely screwing this up. See if I put my arm over there, like, protect it a little bit. Like, yeah, oh, the camera's really struggling. There's too much going on. Damn you, sunshine. It's October. How dare you? I'll pop this in here as well. Ooh. Yeah, it does look a bit like snot, but I'm not mad about it. Art supplies question for chat and Gem. I need to get some new acrylic inks. I usually use a Daler Rowney, but does anyone have any other suggestions? They're the only ones I've used, says Miri, so can't help much there. Chartreuse is offensive in a good way, Miri. I concur. Snotty mushrooms. Bearing in mind that Thea doesn't like mushrooms anyway, so snotty mushrooms makes that so much better. That's funny. In terms of acrylic inks, I think the best person to help you with that is probably not here right now. That's not helpful at all. Hang on a little second, just give me 1 minute, because I had a conversation with someone about this not that long ago. And I'm sure I don't want to say anything because I don't want to give you the wrong information. Let me just check my emails. I thought it was either Golden or Liquitex that did them. It's Liquitex. Liquitex do really good acrylic inks. And I know that Julia's used them before and she really liked them as well. So I can't speak from personal experience, Ulrika, but that's information that I would trust, especially from Julia, obviously. Snotty mushrooms. Ectoplasm. Okay, that's a good explanation, Cal. I like it. But that's standing out quite nicely. Right, I'm going to move down to this one. What was that noise? That noise, someone ordered something from the shop. Was that you guys ordering from the stash? I've normally got that turned off. No, it's not. It's not someone in the chat. That's fine. I've turned off the notifications as well. There's bound to be residue. Ew. Alright, okay, so let's start with a dark frill first. Yeah, I would like to get this stock done before we have our intermission. That would be nice. again, with, you know, you'll get a really good idea when I've done this, and I'll do that third one as homework. We are going to be back on Saturday though, so it's not going to be that long till we're back here. I don't know how many of you are free on Saturday afternoon, but I will be here. It is officially pheasant season here for shooting. Obviously we live rurally and we are on an estate. It sounds very posh, but it's not. And Mr. Jem, he is the estate factor, so he has to host the shoots. So he has a shoot on Saturday, and it's quite an important one for various reasons. So I am basically, I've got the whole day to myself, which is why I decided to do one during the day. So if any of you are free at same time as today, 3 p.m. UK time, we will be having our super scribbly Saturday, and that's going to run, I think, probably until 6 p.m. And we can come back to this. We'll do a bit more on this, but I've got a few other little things as well that I specifically want to talk about on Saturday. So if any of you want to join or can join or whatever, then I would love to see you on Saturday as well. Busy week this week. I like it that way. You know me, I like to be busy. Again, these be underneath bits, just grabbing the sandbar brown for that because why not? Oh look, we've got 2 snot piles. Oh, you've already got a Liquitex one. Yeah, I say I can. Please don't take that with 100% conviction, but Liquitex generally, I'm sure you're perfectly aware, they have a good reputation. Their supplies are good quality. Julia has been arting for an extremely long time, like way longer than me. So I tend to trust her judgment with things like that. And Julia is probably, although she makes watercolour, when she's actually arting, she is very much, I would say, the definition of a mixed media artist, and she's quite knowledgeable across a broad range of supplies. So the fact that she likes them, I would definitely give merit to that. Okay, snot's all done. Lovely, lovely. Back to orange here. Get this done. Oh, look at that. And I want to leave this really orange just because it looks great next to the offensive green. Fantastic. I'm just going to smash down a really heavy layer of this because it looks fabulous. Fabulous. I'm enjoying the fabulosity. If that wasn't a word before, I'm pretty sure that's the kind of word that like fashion people would use. The fabulosity of an outfit. Anyway, even if it wasn't a word before, it is now. Hello Martine, how are you doing? Thea has added the upcoming lives in the Discord, by the way. Well, there's only 2 more that are scheduled after today. It's under events, should even show you right now that there's an event going on. Oh, stop being fancy, Thea. Cool. Yeah, so for those of you that are in the Discord, there's extra helpful information for you. If you're not in the Discord and you want to be in the Discord, just send me an email. It is not an exclusive club of any description. Again, I talked a little bit about this last week, but if you do use Discord and you want to be in more sort of daily communication, it's not restricted to art conversations. I've been banging on about having a Rubik's Cube the last day or two. We talk about, and my obsession with the weather's another one as well. I'm Scottish. We have very changeable weather. I'm a farmer. We have very changeable weather. Like, the weather is everything to me. So if you just want general chit chat or somewhere to come and hang out, we have members across quite a few time zones as well. So even if the UK lot, including myself, aren't about, there's usually someone kicking about. So feel free to request that. Happy to add you. Ooh, page looks good. Thank you, Martine. Mary might be able to join for a while. Yeah. No problem at all. Loving PopCam. He's not really doing anything. You've kind of missed the excitement with that one, Martine. He's just chilling out beside the radiator, which isn't on, by the way. Snoo says they let me in, she means to the Discord. So they take anyone. Yeah, we're not, we don't discriminate. Numerous time zones and insomniacs. Yeah, I posted at 4 o'clock in the morning and someone actually said, "Are you alright?" I was like, "Yep, I'm here. That's just the way things are just now." So yeah, there's usually someone kicking about. We've got different channels for different topics as well. We have a mutual love for Lego computer games, as well as the arty things like colouring books, and we have a channel called It's a Pencil. We don't exclusively talk about pencils in the It's a Pencil channel, but there's a lot of pencil stuff going on there. Has fun and games. Right, so grabbing this tiny wee sepia, I'm going to have to get a pencil extender now. My cut off for a pencil extender is when I can't rest this part here, like the end of the pencil, when that doesn't sit in the crook of my finger anymore. And that's basically the point that I'm at. Like it kind of like waggles about too much, so grab a pencil extender for that. My new Prismacolor should be coming tomorrow, hopefully. Hopefully, she says. Yeah, well, to be fair, because we're not dairy farmers, we're not, unless it's calving or harvest, which I realise like equates to like a third of the year. We tend not to have antisocial hours because we don't need to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning to milk cows or anything like that. I was at 9 o'clock last night out in the pitch black. The first shoot of the season was yesterday and it was a bit chaotic. And one of the vehicles, so it's a gator, which is basically, it's like a little four-wheeled buggy. So it's got a cab and like a bench seat in it, and then there's a flat back on it, like a pickup truck. It just stopped working, like all the electrics went on it, and the gamekeeping team just had to abandon it because they couldn't move it. So I was out with Mr. Jem at 9 o'clock last night trying to get that out and tow it back to the yard in the pitch black, and obviously the gator itself had no electrics, so there was no lights or anything on it. So when we were hooking everything up, I was sitting on the quad bike, which is what we were towing the gator with, turned round with my torch pointing down at the toe eye so that Mr. Jem, it was just, yeah. And when I was towing it back, because there was no headlights on the gator, which Mr. Jem was like steering and braking on, I had to keep turning round with my torch to look at the tow line to make sure that I was keeping it taut and it wasn't bouncing. I don't know how versed you all are on towing things, but it's really, really important, especially if you're going over uneven ground, which is what we do. I was doing that at 9 o'clock last night. So yeah, you know, we do antisocial things at antisocial hours, but it's not as bad as like having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every morning. But last night it was an adventure. Mr. Jem was really pleased with my towing prowess as well, which is not a skill I ever have to use anywhere else. It's one of those like wasted talents. But I'm glad that he acknowledged it. That was nice. I'm good at towing things. What can I say? Right, let's get orange all the way down to the bottom here. Again, I'll see how this looks. I might add in. Now, that part there also belongs to the stock, doesn't it? Yeah! And then we've got this part here. Now, this shows me that this is actually the sky. See this little section in here? And if you remember at the time after I made this boo-boo, I just kind of left this alone because I was going to wait and see what the story was. So, there's a gap in... No, there's not a gap in there. Try not to make any more mistakes. Right, okay, so... I think this part here might belong to this strand of grass, but this part is definitely the sky. So I need to get that pen. I don't even think I've got anything left on that pencil. Let me have a wee look. That was the cobalt turquoise, if you remember. Right, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to try and avoid the little beastie that's sitting here though. Got a really pointy point on this as well, which is nice and helpful. Oh, there we go. Haha, see? No problem. Any pumpkins on the farm? No, that's not something that we have, Martine. We are in Scotland, so the ground isn't like mega fertile. Pumpkins tend to grow on the type of land where you would grow vegetables. We only grow grain, apart from kale. The soil's just not, you know. Our Gem knows how to pull. Thea's grandparents were dairy farmers, could always tell what time it was in the morning when the milking machine started to buzz. Oh, that's funny. But that's like me, see, at harvest time, I absolutely love the sound of the grain dryer. Like, it's a really, like, comforting, because our house is right next to the actual yard where, you know, all the action happens. Just to jump back to this, if this is orange, so I'm using the pumpkin orange to go from the bottom. Again, I might pop in a little bit of the sandbar brown, but I kind of want the contrast of these being next to each other, so I might not bother. I do need to sharpen a wee bit. So yeah, and during harvest, which is my least favourite time of the year for many, many reasons, but the constant sound of the grain going through it, it's almost like rain because the grain's falling out the end of the auger, so you've got a very soft hum in the background, because a grain dryer is basically just like a big hair dryer. And then the grain comes up the auger and it's tipping out onto the pile, so it's like that. So you've got this constant kind of like slight hair dryery whirring sound, then with this on the top, and I love it. I deliberately keep all the windows open in the house just so I can hear it. Fife and Stirling Way. There's really, really good ground out Stirling Way. That's really sad that I know that. And yeah, we noticed it when we were in Fife. We had less favourable ground, but there was loads of people growing like peas and potatoes and stuff next to us, just not us. But that's why we had cattle, because cattle are far less fussy about the soil as long as it grows grass. Right, I think I'm going to have the transition about here just so that we can see it like all the way across the stock, you know, like we've got the visuals on it. This pencil is just not holding a point at all though. Did you like that, Thea? I might just make a record. Oh no. I might make a recording of it next year. It is very soothing. Like, see if you're the kind of person that likes to listen to like ambient sounds, you know, like rain on a rooftop or waves or forest sounds. I can firmly say that grain in the grain dryer fits into that category. I love it. That's about the only thing I love about harvest though. I think I've got a blockage here in my Tagal. Is there any other takers for the other Tagal sharpener? I know Jan said she wants one. I don't think anybody else is that bothered. If that's the case, Jan, if you're the only one, you can get first choice on what colour you want, whether you want a blue or a lilac one. I'll go and get them so you can have a wee look at them. So yeah, there's the two extra ones I've ended up with. So obviously this one's the same as the one that I'm using, but I've got this lovely... Again, it looks a bit more pink on camera. It's more purple than pink. So yeah, you let me know which one you want, Jan, and I'll just pop it down to you. Not a problem. Oh, this just does not want to sharpen. I might have to go to a 2-point here. When visiting my great-grandma, her youngest son owned the family farm, and you woke up to him yelling up for his boys to get out of bed. I learned new words there, I bet you did. That's funny. Right, let's see if I can get in there. Ooh. Up to here. Yeah, that's as good a place in it. Again, not worried about having a straight transition all the way across, as long as it's in the proximity. Proximity, there's a good word. We can smash this down. Again, see if you press really hard, it more or less blends by itself. So if you're looking for a nice smooth transition, Prismacolors, get them out. That's what they do. And again, just like letting up when I get up the top here, because I'm going to put like a little shadow under the frill. And that's F-R-I-L-L. Frill, not thrill. Oh, super duper. Right, let's grab our poor sepia, what's left of it. I'm going to go kind of easy here though, because obviously we've got sepia directly above. So what I'm doing with this is, that was a really light tickle, I'm just trying to like taint the paper, like muddy it almost. Very rarely do I muddy things on purpose, but if I do that, what's rattling about? I think there's another pencil in here, can you hear that? Well, that's what's left of my white Prismacolor. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. I was looking for that. Maxie, yeah, you need to replace our sharpener as well, so I'll take it. Okay, no problem, Maxie, you're more than welcome to it. I'm glad you're back, Jan. Which colour of Tegal do you want? You get first choice because you're like first dibs. I'll show you them again because you obviously missed that. There's the blue one, the same as mine. This is purple, it's not pink, like it's a lilac-y kind of shade. So which one do you want? And then I can send Maxie the other one. I think you've misunderstood how to blend there. Oh, that's funny. Right, okay, now that I've muddied that significantly and sorted out the sharpener situation, let me just Sandy'd like to put her name down for the sharpener. Hi Sandy. Sandy, are you not in the UK? Jan wants the pinky one, the pinky purpley one, right? That's fine, Jan. I'll contact you via email. I'll probably send this along with the item that I have to send back to you, if that makes sense. Of course it does. So, Maxie, are you okay with a blue one? You've not really lost out, Sandy. People are going to pay like the going rate for these. I ended up with 4. It's a long story. You can pick them up. I'm pretty sure you can get them on Amazon, but they seem to be very expensive and you've got to kind of like wait and shop about. Yeah, you're in the UK, so you're in NI. Yeah, you can get them. You should be able to get them on Amazon, but bide your time and shop about. You'll get them at a decent price because I've seen them as high as £12. And I don't know about you guys. I like the Tegal sharpeners, but I'm not paying £12 for one. And I've seen them as low as £6. But I think they usually hover about maybe £8 or £9. I'm maybe saying £8. Yeah, like £8 or £9. So yeah, you should, assuming you've got good Amazon-ness in Northern Ireland, you should be fine. I did think, I didn't want to say, but I did think that's where you were. I was like, is my memory serving me correctly? Right, okay, now that I've got rid of my rattly problem. Good grief. I'll pop this in here. And I'm going to drag that colour down the same way as I did up there, so I'm just back with my orange. Anyway, Sandy, apart from that, how are you? It's nice to see you. I haven't seen you for a wee while. And someone mentioned pasta. Yes, you're not allowed to talk about that because I know it's 8 minutes past, but we haven't hit the intermission yet. No food chat before the intermission. Right, one last thing I want to do in this stock is I want to just take my sepia. I really want a point on this, and I'm really dicing with the devil with this one. I'm going to try for a number 4. Ooh, with my tiny pencil. I want a really good pointy point. Ooh, because what I want to do is just have a little bit of contrast down this side, and I'm going to do it there as well, like just right in there, and then see where these little marks are, like just add a bit of texture, because why not? That's literally all I wanted out of life. I'm easily pleased. Righty McHo-ho. I think you will agree, I hope that you agree, that this is coming on fantastically. And we've got some really rich loveliness coming on. You're hungry, Martin. Yeah, you've only got a minute or two to wait, don't worry. Sandy just ordered a load from the Stash Shop, no worries. I do actually, I have a third one which I was going to keep for myself, but if you're desperate for one, Sandy, and you're wanting to order other stuff from the Stash Shop, I would be happy to add that in for you. Like, that's not a problem because they're really easy for me to get a hold of, and I would just charge you whatever I'd paid for it on Amazon. You know, I wouldn't want any profit from it. So if that's something that you would like to do, you can let me know. Hello, Wilcox Mum. I wanted to stop in and say, hey, so happy to catch you live again. You're lurking. Lurk away, my friend. You use all the capital letters you want, my dear. That's absolutely fine. I didn't realise you'd been unwell. Well, I'm glad that you're recovering, and I'm glad that you're here as well. That's fabulous. Okay, right, so I want your opinion now. I'm going to do this, as I've talked about a wee bit earlier. I'll do this as homework. You've seen how it works now. You see what I'm going to do. And there's 3 lots of snot on that one, which is lovely. My question now is, do you want to change to something else, or do you want to keep going here? I'm going to put a really quick poll up. I do have another project that I want to work on. I'm going to leave it a mystery, I think. No, that's really unfair, isn't it? I should really tell you. I want to start on a big draft of the Other Hands sticker that we talked about. So you can give me your vote here on what you would like. If you just give me a wee second, I'll pop up a poll. And let's make this easy. I'll just put carry on. Obviously, if we're carrying on, we're still doing what we're doing. That's it. Yes or no. There we go. Oh, Mary's up for the Other Hands. No problem, Sandy. I just wanted the offer there for you. If you, this is the thing. Like, see with the Stash Shop, guys. Now I'm extending this to everyone. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. I will ship out. Because I'm a small business, I can accommodate people for things. I have a lady who contacts me, and it's maybe only once every 6 months. She really, really likes the loose sea white watercolour paper, but the really thick one. It's not something I stock in the shop. And she wants it in like A2 or like A3 size. And I always say to her, I'll absolutely get it for you the next time I'm getting a wholesale order in from Sea White, so you'll have to wait, but happy to get it for you. So if there's anything like that, or you want any accommodations, you know, I'm pretty easy going. If I was a much bigger business, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm happy to be able to have a slightly bespoke service in the Stash Shop. Oh, there's lots of people that want to keep going. Oh, this is getting interesting. Now, bear in mind, guys, that we will be back in this on Saturday. This is Wednesday. We're back on Saturday. So try and factor that into your thinking as well. But it is looking good. Like, I'm really pleased with what we've picked out colour-wise as well. Oh, 71. Right, we're creeping up. I think that kind of answers the question for us. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to carry on with this page then. The chat has spoken. We're at 73%. So I am now going to give you free rein to talk about food. Martine, fill your boots. And I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to top up my cup and go and see Mr. Jem, who's just floated in as well. So I shall be back momentarily. I'm back. Oh, right, let me end the poll. So right, we're at 80%. I would say that's fairly conclusive. All things considered, look at all the food chat. You guys are outrageous. Whoa. Jan's out for dinner tonight. Other people like the pasta idea. Honey and balsamic vinegar chicken thighs. Ooh. Nice, nice, nice. Sandy's having homemade veggie lasagna. Never had it, so see how that goes. Well, you can let us know the next time you're in the chat. Posh sausage, egg and chips for lunch. Wedges, chipolatas and a bowl load of veggies. Arrabbiata pasta for Martine. I always approve the pasta, obviously Italian. Yeah. I see you've been having some connection issues again. Scones. I don't have any like solid input. You guys know that normally when I'm doing a stream, we tend to just like stick a pizza in or something. Once we've completed our duties. I was just catching up with Mr. Jemier. I haven't really seen him today, so there was a few things I needed to chat to him about. And he offered to make me a cup of tea, and I said no because I've got a Jack Daniels instead, because it's Wednesday, it's my day off, and this is what we do. And I also last week, I have to say though, I felt really squiffy after like half a mouthful. I think it's just because I've been so unwell, so hopefully that doesn't happen again today. And he was like, "What are you doing drinking on a Wednesday afternoon?" And I was like, "Love, when I do the streams, I normally have a Jack Daniels in the second half." He was like, "Oh, right, okay." Anywho's, it tastes lovely. It tastes even better because I went for a run this morning. Oh, goodness me. Cheers. Thanks, Ulrika. Right, so we're gonna carry on here. I'm kind of struggling for light a little bit now. Ooh, I want to try and just amend that a little bit. I don't know if that helps or not. We'll see. Righty, Rook Ho Ho. So my question to you is then, do you want to start working on the bat slugs? That was kind of where I was thinking about going next. Either that or doing the part round the outside, you know, like I'll call that the frame for want of a better phrase. But I think that's probably two good areas that we could go with. You haven't missed anything, Thea. Jan says slugs. Yes, please. I'm noticing now my shoulders and my neck are starting to tighten up. That usually happens after my first run back. Because I walk my dogs every day, my legs are pretty good. But the running motion, see this motion, especially with an X, like a racer back sports bra. God, that was a mouthful. I tend to find that the muscles that run down under your shoulder blades, they get like you feel it in there. It's usually the next day, but I can feel it already. So I'm going to be a little bit sore across the back tomorrow, but that's a good sore. We like that kind of sore. Bat slugs. Okay, everyone wants the slugs. No, bat slugs. Okay. That's perfectly acceptable, Thea. Yana says the best bourbon comes from Kentucky. Well, Jack Daniels isn't a bourbon, but yes, I will give you that. I do like Bullet. That's another favourite of mine. Hi, April. Listening on and off at the office. Shh. So be fine. You're not here, but you are. Okay. Do you want to go back to Jock, Cam? I know you're all enjoying that much more than my face. There you go. Hey, April, who's not here because she's at work. Yeah, you're in like the Jan zone, April. Tequila. Good Lord, Cal. Saucy. Right, okay, so if we're talking about slugs, I want these to be green and I want to incorporate the chartreuse in there. So this is my line of thinking. Chartreusey colours on the bulk of the body and the wing. Obviously we will delve into other colours, and then like a really bright, like maybe even the fluorescent yellow just on this sort of outside edge. Which would be the back of the opposite wing, if that makes sense. I just feel like that would pop out against this black background as well. The Angel's Envy is an all-female owned distillery. Interesting. Burgundy red. Oh, no. Bright colour. I want to keep the darker colours down the bottom, so see purples and burgundies, I kind of want to have that down here, just to kind of fit in with it, because again, thinking about light sources, etc., I think that would be good. Can't buy American alcohol where I am, so no Jack Daniels for me. Yeah. I'm doing awesome on the waitlist. That's really funny, Elise, because since I've been to Sweden 4 weeks ago, I've actually put on weight, and I've put on a lot of, well, when I say a lot of weight, not in comparison to what I've lost, but I have put on a good couple of pounds, but because I've been unwell as well, I think that's been part of it, because when I went to Sweden, I did not pay attention to what I was eating at all, and I was eating cheese for breakfast every day, and I was drinking alcohol every night, so not surprised, but I'm back to normal this week. Need to get the weight off that I've put on, and then just keep going. But thank you all the same, I appreciate it. The cheese. Right, okay, so what I'm thinking is, when I was talking about the other side of the wings, I was thinking what's it called again? Yes, yellow chartreuse. So it's the next colour along if you're looking at the Prismacolors. I thought that would be quite good. Fuchsia. Well, we can maybe use fuchsia in some, because we've got all these different types of mushrooms. We've got these ones, and then we've got the ones coming out the ground, and then we've got these little teeny weeny ones at the bottom. So if we're going to use dark colours at the bottom, we can maybe use fuchsia on the tiny mushrooms. That might be quite nice. I kind of like that idea. That sounds good. Jock, give it up. Right, so let's get going up here. So I think that's exactly what I'll do, because next to the black, that's going to look awesome. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm really struggling with the light here. So I'm going to get that in all the way around. And this is just flat colour. There's not anything spectacular or even remotely technical going on, but that looks so good. And obviously this is going to be the same part of these wings on the other side. Righty McCoho. So now I've got my chartreuse. So I'm going to go over everything including the spots, and I will reveal my logic afterwards. So sticking to a light layer, not pushing down the colour like I've been doing up till now in a lot of the areas with these pencils. Just want to get, see the more I look at this, see all these little dots and everything are on the wings. I think they might be more like dragon wings rather than bat wings. I've never seen a dragon, so I can't really comment on that. I have seen bat wings though. They're very thin, but they're very leathery looking. But they feel like to touch them, they're soft, like they're really soft. I'll worry about the feelers in a bit. Just want to concentrate on the main body because we're going to have to pick out some more colours. I'm going to put all my oranges to the side because they're kind of cluttering up my desk a wee bit here. I'm really reluctant to touch this lens, but I kind of have to do this so that you can see what I'm doing. Ah, goodness me. Right, okay, so we've got yellow chartreuse and chartreuse. That's what we've just used. So I'm gonna incorporate lime peel again, which is just the next door neighbour. It's the next colour down, and I'm gonna start getting that in there as well. But I'm also gonna bring in kelp and marine green as well for some really good shadow and contrast. So let's just grab them. So there's lime peel and kelp and marine green. I did put all my Prismacolors back in order. I spent some time doing that the other night. So we've got a nice range of colours here that are going to help us. Pop them off to the side. So you're not really seeing the benefits of the yellow chartreuse right now, but once we've worked away on this, it's gonna improve things substantially. So we're thinking about light source as well. So this top edge and round the front of our slug is going to be lighter, and this edge here of the wing is also going to be highlighted as well. So we're trying to bear that in mind. We do have this line here which shows the it's obviously like the demarcation of where the structure of the wing is versus the leathery bit that I was just talking about, so we have to think about that as well. So that is very technical. But stuff like this, it's worthwhile just taking a beat to think about things like this and deciding what you're going to do. So I'm going to sharpen these pencils up a little bit because we're kind of dull edges. Okay, so I've got lime peel here, and I'm going to use this for the leathery bit. So I'm trying to keep this quite even, but it is still a light layer. I'm actually wondering if this might be better just because of the colours I'm using. I'm going to try and turn off this other light. It might make everything really dark though, so bear with me. We'll figure it out. Oh, is that any better, guys? Not really. Let's try that for a little while. It does make things really dark for me, but that's okay. So just following this line here, and you can see the sections of the leathery wing part. And we'll bring that in there as well. Ooh. I've got this little section in here. Things get a bit murky where it joins the body, so we'll just blend that out. We've got good blending skills with these pencils, so that'll be okay. Right, so we're moving down to the kelp green now, so that's the next darkest colour in our little selection that they've picked out. So I'm now thinking about the light source. So this is almost inset, so let's run that down there. Around this edge. And maybe have a little bit down there too. So we're just going to go a section at a time here. I feel like the light might hit this outer edge as well, so I'm trying to bear that in mind while I'm going. So I'm going back to my lime peel now. And I'm going to really push down and blend that section in there. And as we pull this out, it's going to look lighter and lighter. And we can just go, and we can really let up towards the edge there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I feel like we can do a little bit more blendy here though. Okay, so now when we go back to this chartreuse, we can really press down with it on that wing part it's still going to look like the light's hitting it. You can see it looks really light, and you can see the difference between the other wing as well. Because why not? And then very lightly we'll use the chartreuse to blend that out there. And if you want to add a little bit of the darker colour, again, if you want to use the kelp, we can use it really sparingly there just to define that edge part, if that's what you want to do. I'll just give that a wee tickle because it's not going to hurt. And we'll build up as much line peel as we feel is necessary at this stage. But I think that looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. Totally blown away by the sleeping puppet. How so, Martin? Like, this is basically him, like, all the time. This is, like, all day. He's very old now, so he does a lot of sleeping. Prismers are insanely expensive in Europe. Yeah, and some of the ones on Amazon are not legit. I've done a video on it. You can be sold counterfeit Prismacolors. I did find out the other day when I was ordering my open stock Prismacolors, Emma at the Colour Pencil shop in the UK, she does actually sell tins of Prismas now, which she never used to do, which is really good. So they are expensive, though. There's no getting around it. I've had this conversation many times about the value or the perceived value of having Prismacolors in the UK. I think they're grossly overpriced, like I really do. But that is just my personal opinion, and they have their place. They are quite a unique pencil, and I'm sure it was Daria that mentioned last week there's colours in the Prismacolor set that you just don't get in other sets. So I mean I still recommend having a set of them if you're an avid pencil user such as myself, if you're a bit of a pencil monster. Are they the be all and end all of pencils? Absolutely not. In fact, far from it in my eyes. I prefer, and I would suggest, you know, unless there's a particular reason that you want to use Prismacolors, the Derwent ChromaFlow and Coloursoft pencils are quite close to what you get with the Prismacolors. I would go for something like that if you're in the UK or Europe. Plus as well, the build quality of the Prismacolor pencils and the manufacturing quality is nowhere near what it used to be. They are not good quality pencils anymore. For the price that someone in the UK and the rest of Europe would have to pay for them. Right, there we go. Oh, I think I'm quite liking this. I think it's nice. Okay, so in this last section here, I just want to... I don't really want to put any more chartreuse there. I kind of like it the way it is, honestly. Maybe like another little tickle there. As we come down here, the body's going to be much darker. So as I bring this colour down here, I want this again to be like almost like a gradient. So I'm going to pop in some more of the chartreuse here. But I am going to press quite hard. And I'm going to take this lime peel and start in this little corner, just to, again, make it more uniform with the folds above. So I'm going in that sort of curvy shape. But then when I come down here, I'm going to really get in on the old lime peel. And we're going to bring this colour down across the body. But bearing in mind we've got our light source here, so we'll go easy on it at that point. I need to be sharpen again. Hi Sheila, how are you? Nice to see you. Sheila's got a full set of polychromos too. Some of the classes needed Prismacolors. It's good to have both, especially if they're inexpensive. Yeah, that's kind of my point. Yana's up for the new Derwent drawing pencils. Yeah, if you're looking for softness like Prismacolors and you're not in the Americas, Derwent Coloursoft and ChromaFlow pencils are pretty close. I have, Martine, I did a video on pastel pencils not that long ago if you want to check it out. Thea, could you put the link to that video in the chat for me, please? Okay, so I'm going to try and work around, see these little spots here. I'm going to do my best. This is difficult because like, again, this camera is always overexposed. It's actually quite dark in the cave now. So I'm going to try and just meander my way around here a wee bit. Just on this right hand side, well, to the right of the wing. And try and move my way around these little circles. That's a very impatient nuthatch. I don't know if you heard that rattling noise. That's the nuthatch at the bird feeder. And because the blind's down, he's gotten brave. And he's hammering away at some of the nuts. Okay. Oh, we're definitely like, this is good sluggy colours. This was a good choice. I like it. So I'm just going to stop that there. Again, the wings are really good sort of stopping point, rest point, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to get into the darker pencils now. So I've got the kelp green and the marine green. And I want to try and give the impression of a little bit of curvature. So with the kelp, like almost create like a stripe. And I use that term very loosely because we're going to blend it. But when we get to the back, there's going to be less light there, so we can kind of like, where this starts to drop down, we can add a bit more of that. And again, not pressing hard. They're so inconsiderate. They're so noisy. And then with the marine green again, which I'll just sharpen up a wee bitty. A wee bitty. Jules is thinking about getting rid of her Prismacolors, and with the new Derwent drawing colours, I think they will just gather dust. I feel that way about a lot of pencils. There was someone in the chat, and it was ages ago, it was like it was before my mum passed away, but someone was going to take my Pablos from me if they liked them, the Caran d'Ache Pablos. I can't remember who it was, and it never came to anything. And the Pablos are great pencils, I just don't use them, and I hate art supplies sitting languishing in a cupboard somewhere. Like I want them to get used, so I can understand that entirely, Jules. Like I get it, and I know as well for some people space can be an issue, like actual storage space. I'm very lucky in that I don't have that problem. I have an entire room I can fill with stuff, but even that has its limits, and that is actually my rule. Like, see, when I run out of storage space, it's time to have a clear out. But I'm not really a hoardy person anyway. I'm definitely not a minimalist, but I'm definitely more minimalist leaning than hoardy leaning, if that makes sense. I just don't like things not getting used though, because I feel like it's such a waste, and it's just like consumerism basically, and I've got a bit of a thing about that. Right, back to my kelp green here. And I'm just blending in from the marine green and working my way up, especially in that back area. So you keep this as dark as possible without sort of obliterating things. And join up with that stripe I was talking about. I'll just blend that in there. That's good. And that's looking pretty nice. And we're not losing the vibrancy of the colour. Especially, see, when we come more towards the front, that'll become more apparent. Which is nice. Right, so now we're going to carry on. So I'm back to my kelp pencil here. I'm just trying to even out this middle band. I'll take it up to the edge of that mushroom again. I'll always talk about convenient places to stop. That one is perfect. So we'll pop that in and then grab the lime peel. I feel like this red's very jarring when I'm moving my arm over. I'll probably have to smooth this out in better light. It looks okay on the camera, but I think when I see this in daylight, it's not going to look like that. But I would rather you have a good viewing experience because I can easily fix this later. I will go up the loft and get my other bulb, but that's just not going to be today. Yeah, so we're looking a bit more connected now there as well, which is great. And grab this kelp and bring that all the way down there. This was such a good slug colour choice, like I'm really pleased with this. And again, just keeping that shadow colour. So, like, the importance of this, and sometimes I don't think this is understood enough, especially if you are a colourist and not someone that draws. By putting down dark colour either on the base of the item that is resting on something, or sometimes we use a cast shadow. You know, so we would put a shadow down here. It basically helps to ground the item so that it doesn't look as if it's just like resting on top. It's actually sitting on something, and that's quite important. So I can put a cast shadow, and I will do once we've done this, but I'll probably leave that until the end. So what that would do is we would create a darker section that would kind of meander like this across here, and I'll probably use a neutral grey for that, but as I say, we'll leave that until the end. But it's just that contact point and the fact that slugs are squishy and they're slightly curvy, so this is why that is important in terms of making things look not necessarily more real. We're talking about a slug with wings here, but just a better quality perception and colouring experience in general. And I mean, I do say this a lot, there's lots of really small trivial things that I tend to focus on and I bang on about, and they have no consequence. It's your interpretation of your own picture, but when you add all those things together and you see them all together in a finished image, that's what makes the difference between a nice colouring page and one that makes you go, oh wow, look at that. And sometimes people don't even register the individual things, but it's just the impact of them all together. So, you know. You've just stumbled upon this channel and subscribed. What book are we colouring from here? I am happy. Oh, Sheila, I'm sorry. I didn't realise that you were new. I thought you might have seen some videos. This is Halloween by Hannah Carlson, the Swedish artist. We're colouring in this on every live stream for the whole month of October. You will you will find, Sheila, that this is a nice wee bunch on a Wednesday afternoon. It tends to be the same people. We're all quite familiar with each other, but we are very welcoming here, and we have a very safe space and a non-judgmental space, and we talk about a lot of personal things, and generally people feel comfortable to do so. So a very, very warm welcome, and I hope that you hang about and you're maybe able to join us again. Our next live stream is going to be on Saturday at the same time as this one, so 3 PM UK time. So if you want to pop in for a wee while, then you're more than welcome too. You'll find everyone's really nice here though. Obviously, I'm sure if you've used YouTube, I think you do use YouTube, you'll know that our mods have got the little spanner symbol. Thea is like our head mod, and she's very good at sorting things out if you need any help with anything, but generally we don't have any problems. Like we just don't have any problems. We're good that way. Sheila lives in Nova Scotia, came from Chicago over 20 years ago. Yeah, can we have some pink udder hands for Sheila just to welcome her? Pink udder hands, Sheila, is our way of showing appreciation or being warm and welcoming to someone. The description, I would say, is fairly self-explanatory. Here you go, you're going to get the whole wave of them. Yay! You guys are amazing. Yeah, and another Canadian. We've got a few Canadians here, Sheila. You'll feel very at home. You guys are the best. I love you all so much. I do have a soft spot for Canadians, by the way. So I know technically you're not Canadian, but if you've been there 20 years, then that makes you Canadian. Right, okay, so let's think about the front end of the slug then. So we're going to dispose of the marine green for now. I might put a wee bit down here, but we'll not worry about that. I'm going to take the chartreuse, get a really nice point on it. Again, we're missing our pointy point here. Pointy, pointy point. Yeah, look at all the other hands. You guys are amazing. Way, my Canadian flag. Right, so I'm going to just take the chartreuse and I'm going to go in hard on these feelers. It's quite important to try and stay inside the lines because colours like this, especially with the Prismacolors that are quite opaque, they will leave a mark on the black paint. So we want to try and avoid that. I can't promise complete and utter precision, but I'm going to do my best. We don't need to fuss with that anymore though. It's such a tiny area, like no one's going to notice. So we'll do that. Let me just get this other one. Oh, I went a wee bit outside the lines there. Oh no. Hey, that's not too bad. So at the front here, I think we might even just sneak in a bit of the yellow chartreuse. See on the top of the head here? So I'm going to press down really hard with that yellow chartreuse. Similar to what we did with the ghosties, like almost to create like a bit of a resist. And down the front of the snout there. I don't know if that's what it's, I don't know if it's a snout on a slug, but it is now. I mean, it is a bat slug. And then I'm going to go back to my chartreuse, aka offensive green. And I'm going to put another layer down over that whole area. Medium pressure this time though. I'll tuck that up and round there too. We'll join this up properly. I mean, it looks like someone's cut a line between, but we'll fix that in due course. He's proper sleeping now, look at him. Oh, so see when they tuck themselves in like a cat, when they're curled up like that and their nose is touching their tail, that's like proper sleeping. There's two ways collies do that. There's this position, and there's also they like to lie on their back with their legs in the air. They tend not to do that unless they're in a very safe place. That bed's too small for Jock to do that in. But he's very peaceful now. That see all the rumbling about he did in the first half of the stream, this is where he was trying to get to. That's what he actually wanted. It's just taking him a little while to get going. Sheila says we aren't getting this book or the new Rita Berman book until sometime next year. I think the US is the same, Sheila. We're not getting it in the UK either, but I went to Sweden a few weeks ago and I bought it because it's a Swedish book. I bought it in Sweden. Nice to see you, Jules. Thanks for coming. Hopefully we'll maybe see you on Saturday for a little while, but if not, we'll catch you again soon. Thea's letting Sheila know what's going on the camera. Excuse me. Purely for Sheila's benefit, this is my oldest dog. This is my geriatric dog. He is a retired working sheepdog. He is very old now. He's 13 and a half. And as you can see, he's very much enjoying his retirement. I'm just pouring myself another little bit of Jack here, guys. It wouldn't let Sandy send all the pink udders. That's a bit strange. I wonder why that's happening. Are you on an iPad, Sandy? Sometimes iPads can be a bit janky with things like that. JD ASMR, did you hear that little tinkling there? That's funny. Oh, goodness me. Right, okay, so we're in with the kelp green now, so we're going to try and join this up. So again, like really light pressure here. Wee scumbly motions, and we'll just work our way past. We'll manoeuvre ourselves around the top of this mushroom, but we're going to treat this more as our darkest colour just because we're at the front and we decided the light source was coming this way. So we can go a little bit more severe down the bottom here, but I'm using that really sparingly. I'm basically just trying to discolour the chartreuse, if that makes sense, rather than add another colour. So we'll kind of scumble that about. I mean, maybe like we can put a little bit more down there, but not too much. So if I press a bit harder, the way we did with the marine green over here, like if we just do that down that edge, and then grab the lime peel colour, let me blend that out a little bit there. Ooh. So there you go. You'd never know we'd stop there. Like it wasn't a thing. It's fine. And we'll just blend this out down the bottom. So I'm pushing up the way, although I'm going in circular motions, I'm deliberately, and all I'm doing is shoving that darker pigment up the way to create a better blend. Now, obviously I'm doing it quite quickly. If like in slow motion, I realise that some people might not be as well versed on this. Let me just do it on this side so that I can show you. So the type of motion you're doing is heavy and then almost like a flicky motion, but you're going in a circular motion. So when you're down at the bottom here, that's when you want to be pressing. And when you get up to like the apex of your circle, you want that lighter pressure. And then as you come back down, you're pressing hard. So if you imagine that cycle, but in very tight circles, and the further up you work, the more you lighten up the pressure. And that's what gets you where you need to go. I have no idea if that's helpful. See, stuff like that, when I'm explaining it, it makes perfect sense in my head, but I'm aware that it doesn't necessarily make sense to like normal people. Sheila loves animals, especially cats. Had some dogs in your life too? Yeah. I like cats too, but I'm definitely much more of a doggy person. Okay. Do you know, it's really funny. Ulrika's just made a comment about recognising a cup of tea being poured. I read a research paper, again being a woman of science, but I also watched some videos afterwards, and do you know that most people can tell the difference between hot water and cold water being poured into a cup? I thought that was really interesting, and I knew straight away when I saw the video, I was like, I'm going to be able to close my eyes and do this. And apparently most people can do it. So there's a wee experiment or a bit of fun to have with someone that you like. The next time you've got a pal or a family member near you, blindfold them and do the hot and cold water test. I guarantee you that most of you will be able to do it. I find that so fascinating. That's why I love sciencey things. And we've got a Daria. Hi Daria, how are you doing? Thank you once again very, very much for your mushroom pictures. I had the best time with them, and I'm going to do all the mushrooms. I did share some of them on the Discord as well in the reference photos, so if anyone uses them, we'll be sure to let you know and show you them. I reckon it's because of the porcelain adjusting. Interesting. It really is, Ulrika, and I totally knew you'd be the person that's going to be like, oh, I'm going to try this out. Yeah, Theo, you better wait until your ears are unblocked. Right, how do we feel about our slug pal? I feel like because we've made this dark that we need to do a bit more with the edge of these wings. I'm not going to go super dark, but I'm going to grab the lime peel and I'm just going to pop a line down there. So quite subtle. But we kind of like subtle, and maybe just blend it out a little bit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I kind of like that. Again, not so obvious on the camera, but it's there. I think I maybe want to go a little bit heavier actually. I'm like, not questioning myself, but just like, am I finished? Again, the eternal question, am I ever finished? Right, I am super happy with that. And what that's led me to go with is to take the yellow chartreuse and again get a really, like a freaking super pointy point on it. It looks like he glows. Well, he kind of does glow a little bit. We could put a glow around him, but I think that might be a bit much. I'll definitely keep that suggestion in mind for when we're closer to completion, because I think even if we had a little bit, like even if his wings were to glow, we could have a little halo going on around there. That's not out with the realms of possibility. But I'm just going to squish this yellow chartreuse in these little warts or whatever they are, but they're not raised. Quite tempted to put like a fluorescent Posca in there and just really make them pop, but I feel it would sort of take away from these, which I don't want to do either. So let me just, again, I'm sorry if the camera cuts out, please don't worry, we've been through this a couple of times. But if I zoom out now and you can see the bigger picture, can you see why I chose what I chose? Like, there was a reason for it. Thea says, has anyone ever had saline in solution injected? I can smell that stuff too when it goes into my veins. See, when I get stuff intravenous, Thea, I can taste it. I can taste it in my mouth. And it doesn't matter what you're injecting into me, I can taste it. So yes. Okay, I think we're just going to go for the other slug while we're here. I feel like I'm on a roll. And I'm good to go for like maybe another 20 minutes or so. So let's try and get this finished as well. The bat slug. So is that us convinced that it's definitely bat wings and not and not dragon wings? Telling me what it was doing, I was like, yeah, I know what you're doing, I can smell it. Yeah, no, it's the taste for me. Or you could just like saying bat slug. You know, I'm good for bat slug. I kind of like that. It's cool. A bat slur, Sandy. That was really funny, actually. We knew what you meant. Okay, so again, I'm thinking about this, but also, right, we've got to think a bit more carefully about the light source here because it's going this way. So we might only have like a little bit touching the top here. And again, the feelers and maybe but this part of the head, and that's going to be about it. So maybe we can play about with that and like use that to our advantage a little bit more. I'm still going to stick with the principle that we're using the yellow chartreuse for the I want to say the outside of the wings. You know what I'm talking about, like when they're folded up, the bits that are folded together. And that's just to keep consistency with what's going on over there. I could have reversed that and made that really, really dark, but I kind of had that in my head from the start. I'm like a petulant child, like that's the way it's going to be. So we'll get that down. I'm going to have to put this other light on, guys, because I can barely see what I'm doing here now. What I will do is, though, I'm going to turn this, like I've got a dimmable control. So that's enough for me to be able to see better than what was going on before. So that's helpful. Now, if I was feeling really fancy, I could take the lime peel and just run a little bit of a line down there to show that there's a bit of an overlap. These ones are too tiny, or like this side, they're too tiny to do it with, but down there I feel like that might be warranted. Because why not? Cal said they looked at her daft when she said she could feel the MRI. Like, I don't see, unless you've had one, people don't really understand. Thea calls it the giant washing machine. My mother-in-law has just had one, and she called it the Polo Mint scan. So for those of you, in the UK, a Polo Mint, if you're in Canada, it's like a lifesaver. It's a sweet that's got a hole in the middle, you know, it's like a ring. And she calls it the Polo Mint scan, which I think is hilarious. Cal says construction polo, there you go. That's funny. I'm doing your slurring for you and your JD, thanks Sandy. It's service to the community. Well, the first time I went for an MRI, I found it very intrusive, but see, when I went the second time, they offered me headphones with music and I said yes, and I found it much more bearable because I am very, very sensitive to sounds, and the second time was almost pleasurable. I don't mind the constricted space, but it was the combination of being in a tight space and the wom 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 noise, and it was just like, it was almost like sensory overload. But the second time that I had one was much, much better. I was just bouncing along to some classical music. I had a bit of Mozart and a bit of Queen. I was really happy with that. So, oh, did they not ask you what you wanted, Thea? I'd just like to point out, look at the state of Jock. That's him out cold now, like he's proper out. The very fact that his hind legs are tucked under his front paws, that's him. He's totally, like, he's proper sleeping now. Bless him. My little sausage. Right, so I'm going I'm with my chartreuse pencil here. Again, just trying to keep sharp. I say we'll keep going until we've got this other slug done, and then we can call it quits after that, and I think we'll have a productive day. Hi Blue, nice to see you. Welcome. I'm really glad that you like them. I was just talking about how proud I was about the colours that I've used, so I'm glad you like them too. Oh yeah, look. Oh yeah, he's proper sleep. This is like snory position. Like you're gonna get some snores soon now. Ah, goodness me. Right, okay, so getting distracted by my own dog. So chartreuse here on the feelers, same as before. We'll just get them done. No issues there. Job's a good one. Right, so I want to focus on this wing again, and I'm basically going to use the same sort of situation that's going on here, but I'm thinking a little bit more about the light source. I feel like the leathery part of the wing, it's recessed. You know, this is the framework for it. So I feel like the light source won't matter quite. Good grief. That's him trying to get into the upside down position. Big sigh. That I was talking about, but he's too old to do it now. Bless him. Yeah, so again, I'm just going to start with this inside part, and I feel like the light source isn't really a thing because it's almost like recessed. But we'll pop a layer of the chartreuse down, really light layer. And again, we'll stop at the edge of the wing there, and then I'm going to grab that lime peel colour just as I did before. What have I done with it? It is. And I feel like this might be quite dark. So I'm kind of doing this by feel in inverted commas. And that would probably be dark all the way up. And if we were going to see any sort of lighter area, it might be like closer here. Like in that middle part. I think I'm getting a bit too technical for my own good here, honestly. Like I don't think I need to, it's not that deep. Back to the chartreuse. Because I feel like this is just going to be chartreuse all the way around. Let's just do it. I think I'm getting a bit too caught up in my light source situation here. I think I need to calm myself down a wee bit. So let's make this a bit darker in here just with the lime peel. And again, along that line there. And maybe up in these corners. I don't think I've ever got this excited about a bat wing in my puff. In my nearly 8 years of YouTube. First time for everything, guys. And then we can just push that down there. Good stuff. I might pop a tiny bit of kelp in this corner just because I can. So again, kelp green just in there. Oh, see, that's made me want to run a line along here as well. How dare you? But look at the definition that's given you. It's so good. And then just use the lime peel to, again, drag that down just as I've done twice before now in this stream. just like softens it, makes it a bit more obvious. Because if it's like, see if it's super sharp and pristine along the artwork line, it just looks as if it belongs to like the outline. So want to kind of like drag that down to make it a bit softer, a bit more obvious. But yeah, okay. Hi Mona, lovely to see you too. You're another face that I haven't seen for a long time. How are you doing? You've been making bread. Oh, you're part of my team. I love to make bread. I make a lot of bread. I actually don't buy bread from the supermarket anymore. I make my own. Yana needs to get ready for work. Well, it was lovely for you to drop in, Yana. It was I really enjoyed having you here in the stream. Catch you next time. If you're around on Saturday, please feel free to join us again, same time as today. Oh, my stomach's rumbling now. Oh, goodness me. Sandy's saying she goes regularly now. They give you headphones and you can take your own music. Well, that's basically what happened to me the last time I went. Have I ever thought of doing a mystery bag second-hand art supplies in the shop? No, I have not. That's not a terrible idea, though. April's like, well, I'd buy one of those. I'm glad to hear it, Mona. Cave Crate monthly curated boxes. Well, I think that's maybe being a bit ambitious, Cal, but that might be quite interesting. It almost looks as if he doesn't have any head. Poor Chalk. That's so funny. Martin's like, I would buy a flute. Like lucky bags. So are we talking like low value items here, or like I'd like what sort of vein are we in? Because again, I was saying earlier, because I'm a small business, I can cater to people's needs. Like that's not a problem. Because everything's on quite a small scale, you know, even the stickers and things, you know. It's easy for me to chop and change things just because I've got that luxury of it. You know, I'm not tied into like big contracts or massive quantities of things. Okay, I feel like I need a darker line down this vein here, and I'm going to do it with the kelp. I feel like I want that to be a bit more dramatic. So if I do that, and then, so that was the kelp green, and then just with the next step up, which is the lime peel, use that as the sort of blendy, draggy motion again. So I'm doing it down the way instead of up the way as I demonstrated earlier. But you can see how much that's pulling that out. Fabulous. Oh, this is so nice. I'm going to put my lime peel all the way down here. Get this wing part finished off. So I feel like we can be quite liberal with the kelp here too. Maybe not, we don't have to go as hard with it, but just to like darken down the lime peel colour. So again, the blendability of the Prismacolors lends itself so well to this. And we can just smush it all together. All that smushability. Oh, do you see that little imperfection I've got there? That looks like a different shade of green. That's maybe been a speck in the, like in one of the cores. Not much you can do about that. Again, we can live with that. Not bothered at all. Okay. So down here, again, I'm going to take this, the chartreuse colour first, and go for my light source areas. So round this side of the head, not including the little spots or lumpy bumpy bits, or they're not lumpy bumpy, but you know what I mean. And maybe across the top here, bring that down a little bit, and then straight back to my lime peel, which is the next colour down. Blend that in. Jock's snoring now. Told you. Predicted it. Be pretty bad if I couldn't predict that, considering he's my dog and I've had him for nearly 14 years. You like that little imperfection? Okay. Well, I'm glad you do, because I bloody well don't. I feel like I need a little bit of kelp here. That's not dark enough for my liking. Like, oh yeah. Much happier, much better. Yes. I'm just tilting this a little bit. Oh, my swatch book's in the way. Hang on. Oh, goodness me. That's better. My hand's kind of starting to get tired now. Like, I'm getting a bit of fatigue, so I'm having to manoeuvre things to suit myself. Right, so I'm still with the line peel here. And I'm going to put that down the bottom here. So I'm using a medium pressure here. And we'll get that all the way down. Again, avoiding our spots where we can. If we happen to go over one, it's not the end of the world. Nobody's going to die. We'll just bring that all the way up. Oh, I did actually go over one there. That was ridiculous. Outrageous. And then I get my kelp green here. Down at the bottom. Up some of these little creases. Can you hear Jock snoring? That's very gentle. I doubt you'll be able to hear that. Bless him. It's very content snoring. Like it's very gentle. Oh, bless him. Right, so I'm just blending out this kelp now. I've got a bit of a thing, like I love having elderly dogs. There's so many nice things about them. Like, you know them well if you've had them for not even since they were tiny, but if you've had them for more than like 6 or 7 years, you know them very well. Sheila should be working, but she stumbled upon you, decided to stay. Well, I hope you enjoyed staying, and I hope it's worth it, because that we like everyone to feel welcome here. Note to self, don't ask for all cave live colouring to stop Gem's hand hurting. Yeah, no, I do have limits. I'm quite aware of them now though, Jan, to be fair. And, you know, if we did something like that and I had to stop, I would just tell you guys I'm going to have to stop. Right, okay, how do we feel about that? The only thing I'm doing now is taking the yellow chartreuse for the spots. I'm not convinced that I'm not going to augment them in some way. I'm thinking maybe even like Julia Kay sparkly watercolour paint, like just in little dabs. That might be fantastic. But I'm going to call it quits there. I am super happy with this page so far. I think that the Prismacolors were the right choice, and I also think that our colour choices so far have been the right choice. I am taking on board, and you guys know that I love your suggestions, and sometimes I rely quite heavily on your suggestions, but burgundies and purples I would really like to incorporate, especially in this bottom half of the image, because it's going to give us really like a really rich depth to the bottom part. So totally looking forward to that. So as I mentioned earlier, homework for me for Saturday is just to get this other stock done. So that'll let you see this wee glowy ghosty in his full glory as well. The other ones have popped out quite nicely. And then on Saturday, for Super Scribbly Saturday, we can pick another area to work on. I do think we should get this border done, and then we can start on those really rich deep dark colours that we've just been talking about. You're very welcome, Mona. Please don't thank me for streaming. It's mutually beneficial, and it's kind of part of my job. Yeah, Sheila. So yeah, on Saturday, the same time as today, which is 3 p.m. UK time, which is currently still BST, British Summer Time, not for much longer. But if you want to pop in at any point, again, drop in, drop out. I'm cool for all of that. Yep. Pink order hands for the mods. Thank you very much. As always, I enjoy your support. I'm working. It's just, I keep saying this. I've got 2 jobs. I've got my proper job, and the cave is my business, and that's what we do. So if any of you want to keep supporting the business, give all the pink other hands. Can you also stick a like on this before you go as well, guys? I would really appreciate that. The YouTube algorithm is still hammering me. I'm not uploading videos as often as I should be. Oh, we're on the move. So if you could give us a thumbs up just before you go, that would be great. And hopefully I'll see some of you on Saturday. I am hoping to have that second Copic video out in the next 3 or 4 days. It's just as soon as I can get time to sit down and edit the footage, that will be out. So you can look forward to that as well, especially if you're into marker art. Thank you, Blue. I really, really appreciate it. I'm pleased with it. It's going well. Thank you so much, Sheila. It's lovely to meet you. Thanks for coming in and joining us. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. Yeah, we've had a good time this afternoon. This has been a good afternoon, a good time. All right, everyone, take it easy. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Wednesday for what's left of it. For me, obviously, going into evening time. For some of you in the other time zones, it's like the middle of the afternoon. So hope it is a productive and fun Wednesday. And hopefully, we'll see some of you back here on Saturday. If not, I'm sure we'll see you again soon back in the cave. Go and eat stuff, guys, and talk about food. I'll see you all later.